They told him he'd die in prison. They told him freedom was a dream, too far, too dangerous, too impossible. But Nelson Mandela didn't just dream of freedom. He became the reason millions believed in it again. He spent 27 years behind bars, not for stealing, not for hurting, but for daring to say, "We are not less. We are not broken. We are not born to obey." 27 years. That's over 9,800 sunrises. With no family, no speeches, no stage, just a cold cell, a small window, a system built to break him, and yet he emerged unbroken. They could chain his body, but not his will. They silenced his voice, but not his message, because Mandela understood something most people never realize. True power is not found in anger. It's found in patience, in dignity, in purpose. He didn't come out of prison seeking revenge. He came out ready to forgive, not because it was easy, but because hate is too heavy to carry into freedom. He said, "As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew that if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." That's not weakness, that's strength. Most of us can't even comprehend. You see, Mandela didn't rise because of what he had. He rose because of what he refused to let go of. Hope, vision, conviction. He refused to give up. Not when he was arrested. Not when he was beaten. Not when he was forgotten. And that's the real message. You are not your conditions. You are not your failures. You are not your fear. You are your courage, your choices, your cause. And when you know what you stand for, nothing can keep you down. Mandela wasn't a superhero. He was a man, just like you, just like me, with doubt, with pain, but also with fire. That fire doesn't come from comfort. It comes from struggle, from standing up, even when your legs are shaking. So if you're in a hard place today, if you feel trapped, tired, or invisible, remember this. Even in a cell, Mandela was a giant. Even in silence, his voice echoed across the world. Because greatness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through broken nights, quiet prayers, and unshakable belief in something better. We often look at history's giants and think they were born that way. Born fearless, born wise, born ready. But Mandela, he was born like any of us. Full of questions, full of dreams, full of pain. He wasn't born a symbol. He became one. By standing in fire and choosing not to burn. Because greatness doesn't arrive at your door. It doesn't find you sitting still. It waits on the other side of discomfort. And that's where Mandela lived. In the uncomfortable, in the unpopular, in the places where silence is safer, but truth is needed. He once said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." So the question is, are you playing small? Are you dimming your light to fit in? Are you staying quiet to feel safe? Are you waiting for the world to change, while doing nothing to change it? Mandela didn't wait. He acted, even when he was afraid, even when it cost him everything, because he understood. Comfort is not the goal, contribution is. He believed in service, not the kind you do when it's convenient, but the kind that costs something. Your time, your pride, your comfort. He believed in lifting others even when his own heart was heavy, in choosing unity over vengeance, and in fighting for tomorrow, even if he wouldn't live to see it. That's leadership. That's love. That's legacy. But we forget, Mandela wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. He had regrets. He carried scars, seen and unseen. But do you know what made him different? He didn't hide them. He let his pain shape him, not shatter him. He let his past inform him, not define him. He knew the world didn't need perfection. It needed people willing to grow. So he grew. He softened. He learned. He let humility be louder than pride, and peace louder than anger. We live in a world now that praises noise, that worships rage, that measures success in likes, views, applause, and still, his greatest battle came after freedom, when the chains were gone, when the prison doors opened. He faced something even more difficult than captivity: leadership. Because it's easy to fight when you're angry, but can you lead when the world is watching? Can you walk with power and still stay humble? Can you build a nation when your own soul is still healing? Mandela did, not because he had all the answers, but because he believed that the answers would come if people walked together. He said, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." And so, he built bridges where others built walls. He shook hands with enemies. He chose peace, even when war felt justified, because he knew true change isn't about taking control. It's about giving people a reason to believe. He gave South Africa more than democracy. He gave it hope, and he gave the world a reminder that one man, standing firm in truth, can light a fire that burns through centuries. But here's what we forget. Mandela wasn't born brave. He chose it. He chose to walk into the courtroom. He chose to return to the prison cell. He chose to lead, not for praise, but for purpose. You have that choice too. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to decide, what do you stand for? Because your life isn't just what happens to you. It's what you rise for. It's who you forgive. It's what you refuse to stay silent about. The world will give you 1,000 reasons to be bitter, 1,000 excuses to stay down. But you can be someone's reason to believe again, just like Mandela was. And when you doubt yourself, when your strength feels small, remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward with it. So rise. Rise with dignity. Rise with grace. Rise like Mandela. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe.